Hey guys, got a pretty unique butterfly knife for you guys to look at today. This was sent over to me by the nice guys over at Cuts. I'm planning on doing a bigger project with them. They just wanted me to have something for comparison first. So they just recently opened an Amazon store, and this is the only thing they had in stock. I actually requested a different model just because, just look at this. How would you even flip it? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. Taking a look at them. I did get this for a free review, but I'm still going to be giving my honest opinions. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, we'll start off with a sped up unboxing. The first thing you'll notice is when you order this, it comes in a package inside of the package, so it's protected very well. And when you open the package, you'll also notice it comes with a really nice box. This is not just made out of cardboard. This is at least, it's not full like hardwood, but it is actually really well done, and it actually looks pretty nice. I have never seen a knife that's under $15 come in a package and it looks this great. Inside the box, the knife is padded very well with foam, and it even has a little plastic bag around it to keep any dirt or anything from getting on it. The knife itself seems to be well made, very solid, good metal, and also doesn't have very much play to it, which is very good. Out of the box, the handles are actually pretty loose, not as loose as a knife that's been worn in, of course, but still looser than some other ones I've seen. But this giant spider emblem looks like it might be a problem. We'll talk about that more as we go on in the actual review. Well, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert when it comes to butterfly knives. I have spent quite a lot of time with them. Over 5 years of just owning them, and I can guarantee I've spent at least 200 hours just flipping them alone. I own quite a few trainers and some real butterfly knives as well, and when I first saw the design of this, I didn't even expect myself to be able to even flip it with that giant spider in the way. It looked like it would make it pretty much impossible to do anything that requires even a slight spin. On my first day with the knife, I spent most of the time breaking it in, but I was actually able to do some basic tricks with it. Just a basic open and a basic close I had absolutely no problems with. But things changed as soon as I tried to do a trick that required a roll. The giant spider emblem seemed to be the cause. It wasn't just the size of it, but it seemed to also throw off the weight distribution of the knife itself. This trick that I had done thousands of times and can pretty much do on any other trainer I own seemed pretty much impossible on this new knife. The next interesting design decision is how they did the spider and the webs. They actually stick out, they're not just painted on, so they do actually provide interesting weird angles of friction on the actual handles themselves. Also, the handles seem to be a bit smaller, shorter, and thinner than most other trainers that I have. As you can see here, they're only about 2/3 the size of some of these knives, and about half the size of the Dragon trainer. I was a bit frustrated that I wasn't able to do most of the tricks I was used to. With a crude balance check, I was able to confirm that yes, this does have a different center of balance than the other knives. And because of that, I realized that I was going to have to relearn a little bit to actually be able to do the same tricks with these knives. It's a similar process to when you're transitioning from a heavier knife to a lighter one. So I spent the next couple days practicing it over and over, except this time slower, and I was able to get it much closer to how I could do it on the other knives. Although I was making progress, I found myself constantly fighting the design of this knife. When you rotate around your finger, the spider is pushing the center of the knife actually away from your finger, and that extra little bit of push is enough to throw off your muscle memory from flipping a normal knife. Some more advanced tricks are possible. This may require a little more work. So moving back to things I like about this knife, the handles are actually really strong. I've actually had a trainer have his handles break off, but I don't think that will happen with this one. Also, they make a pretty cool sound when they actually hit together, which makes the flipping it quite a bit more fun. Another thing I like is how the blades design. This is the first butterfly knife or trainer that I have that actually has a double-edged design, and that's pretty cool. Also, the actual finish on it is quite a bit better than it looks in the pictures. I've seen quite a few of these knives advertised online with the same color scheme, and they look kind of cheap online. In real life, it doesn't look like $1,000,000 or anything, but it does actually look pretty nice. Another thing I like about this is the weight. While the distribution is not perfect, the weight is actually really good. I've had butterfly knives with the same size handles and pretty much the same size, just a small butterfly knife, and they were just way too light for me. I couldn't even attempt to flip, they would just fly across the room. This is actually weighted pretty well. And another thing I like is the handle finish. While I'm not too crazy about the actual designs and the spider webs everywhere, I do actually like the finish they put on these handles. It has a really nice bronze texture to it. Again, the giant spider is a bit much for my taste, but just how it just looks, the finish is just really nice. It sparkles pretty nice in the light. It doesn't look too cheap. I mean, especially for like an under $15 knife, this is actually a really nice finish. Alright, so final thoughts. I spent 4 days using this as my main trainer. I didn't use any of my other trainers, I have quite a few. I just used this one just for every single day since the day it came in the mail. Should you get this? What do I think? Okay, well, this is a kind of an interesting question. The issue is it looks really nice and it does work. So by that, yeah, it's a good knife. Unfortunately, you pretty much have to fight the design. So if this was a knife that looked like twice as good but was half as useful, I would definitely say no. You got to get something that will actually be useful, otherwise it's just a display item. While this actually can be used to do tricks, so that does put it over the category of being a display item. It's actually usable. For more advanced tricks, yes, it does make them more difficult, so it's not a perfect trainer. So I would definitely say it's usable as just, you know, a very basic trainer if you just want to practice some very basic stuff. If you're practicing advanced moves, this probably won't be the best item for you. I have no doubt that someone could probably figure out how to do even more advanced moves than stuff I do, but considering the fact that it's giving me trouble, if you're trying to do more advanced stuff, just use a normal trainer. But for people who just want a cool knife for 12 bucks, definitely. This is actually a pretty nice knife. It's well made, and it's mostly functional. I can't give it, like, you know, full recommendation because, again, it does make it harder and you have to relearn some stuff. I don't think this is going to be harmful to anyone. I don't think if you practice on this knife every single day, you're not going to be able to pick up a regular butterfly knife. There may be a short adjustment period because, again, if you're switching from just weights, yeah, there's an adjustment period. But I honestly think this is a pretty nice knife. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I got one. If I wanted to be a complete sellout, I just say like, oh, this knife has no problems. I've seen people do that before all the time. I think I did a pretty good job of pointing out what the issues are. If any of those are a turn off to you and saying, no, I need a trainer that can perfectly prepare me for a regular butterfly knife, then no, this is not an option for you. This is, again, above a display item. I don't know if I said that in this take, but this is not a display item. It's actually functional. You can actually use it as a trainer, but it's not a perfect trainer. But it is above just having something you put on your shelf because it's something you can still practice with. You just can't practice some more advanced moves. So from that, I would say, yeah, if you want a knife that looks cool and you just want to practice some basic stuff, then it's a great option. And it's not too expensive either. But if you're mainly trying to practice your advanced moves, then this won't really help. So I hope that this helped you decide if you want to buy this or not, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. If you want to buy one, links in the description, and stay tuned in a couple weeks or months. I'll have a surprise video out which you'll get to see what this is going to be compared to, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.